LeBron, you cut their lead in half in the fourth quarter, but could not get closer than 11. What were some of the reasons why you guys did not win today?
They capitalized off our turnovers and mistakes defensively. It's a great team, very well coached, Hall of Famers, great complimentary players. Norm having a great season, Big Zoo, big time. So, when you're playing against a great team, you got to limit your mistakes offensively and defensively because they make you pay, and I think they did that tonight.
Ron, seeing what Kawhi had to go through this summer where he left you guys and wasn't able to go to Paris and then obviously missed in the first portion of this season, what was it like to have him back out there and competing against him again?
For me, it's always great to go against the best. I know I don't have that many opportunities to continue to go against the best, so it's great to have him back out there.
You've been telling us that the margin of error is small in this room for a few years now.
Yep.
Are there ways it can get bigger internally?
Bigger or better?
Can you give yourself more margin? Are there things that you can do some nights to make it easier? Is this just going to be
that's how our team is constructed. We don't have room for much right here.
How can you guys navigate the sort of mental demands of having to play close to perfect basketball?
We have a choice. That's the way our team is constructed. We have to play close to perfect basketball. We know the game is never perfect. It's never going to be a 48-minute perfect basketball game, but we can't combat it on multiple possessions in a row, or if we turn the ball over, we have to do a better job with that. If we're making aggressive turnover plays where we're trying to make the right play to our teammates, but it's some of the careless ones. And then defensively, we can't have breakdowns. We can't, if our coaching staff has a game plan for us, we can't break down on the game plan.
It's happened for stretches like you guys have had, 3 weeks where you guys have been really, really good. You guys have had 2 week stretches where you guys have been pretty bad. Is that, you think, because of what we're talking about with, just that it's impossible to consistently play during?
I don't know the answer to that, but we just got to keep putting our foot forward and keep working.
LeBron, it's NBA rivalry week, and you have this matchup here with the Clippers tonight. With your career, you had so many rivalries when it comes to teams and individual play. Just how important is rivalry to the game of the NBA and when it comes to the growth of the league as well?
I don't know. I know marquee players and transcendent players and generational players is very key for the league. Great teams is key for the league. And being rivalry is all part of sports. It's not just the NBA. It's everywhere. It's in every sport that you can think of. Everyone has a rival or have had a rival, but it's just it's always fun to be a part of one. If you have an opportunity, if you have an opportunity to play at the highest level and be able to be a part of some rivalries, it's always pretty cool.
What would you make of James Harden's kind of impact? The ability to still do this at a high level at his age, but just his overall impact on basketball the last decade, just the offense that he's kind of been putting up.
Simply just a great player who loves to play the game. Plays at his own pace. And has won every stop that he's been at. Obviously the Brooklyn thing was a quick stop, but you look at OKC. I played against him, when he was super young and I was younger. In the finals, went off to Houston. We know what he did down there. And went over to Philly, played some great ball, and here playing great ball. He's a guy who's just a selfless guy. Go out there and just plays the game. He's been able to reinvent himself. It was at one point where he was giving guys 50-point triple-doubles, 60-point triple-doubles, and now he just plays the game in the right way. He can score when he wants to. He's always been a great passer, so it's pretty cool.
That was the last
11 twice down the stretch, but couldn't get much closer. What did you see out there? What was the reasons for you guys to lose today?
Simple mistakes. Game plan discipline. Fouling James Harden a couple times. Got some offensive rebounds. Every time we made a run, they made a run of their own. Shoot the ball well tonight. They like to fight, but just teams like that, pretty good teams. We have a great stretch, and then we have 2-3 mistakes in a row, and they capitalize every time. So, gotta play great basketball and play a good team like that.
JJ just told us that we've heard you guys say it in there too, that the margin of error for you guys just isn't there.
on a night-to-night basis, and you have to play really good basketball always, or else it won't be easy. What do you think needs to happen for that margin of error to get a little wider? What are the things that this team has to do nightly to give itself a more consistent, good chance?
And not turn the ball over. You can't control makes or misses, but some nights we struggle to shoot the basketball, and some nights the ball goes in for us. I think defensively we did a pretty good job. Got back in the zone, and I think in the third quarter they kind of came out prepared. Got some. Obviously they made some shots, but kind of ran this action. With Zoo in the middle and Kawhi underneath the basket. Put some shooters around and made some shots. But I think just laying our hats on defense. Like I said, you can't control makes or misses, but you control your effort on defense. And I think we have had some slips defensively, but for the most part, the fight is there, the effort is there. We just got to do a better job of getting more stops in a row, especially against teams like this.
How did you come through physically after being the late scratch against Brooklyn the other night?
I felt good enough to play. But
Is it an extension of the issue that really got propped up against Detroit earlier in the year?
You've been competing against Zoo for a long time. How have you seen him grow from when you first started competing against him to a game like tonight?
He's worked on his post game. Into that jump up, he's always been a good screener, good roller, lobber, offensive rebounder, good rim protector. But he's developed his post game where they throwing it to him, and he's finishing with his right hook. So he added that to his arsenal.
You guys had that 13-2 run to close the third with the two big lineup with you and Jackson, LeBron 3. What did you like about that group as JJ kind of tests out some bigger lineups?
It just made us bigger. They were small, especially with Zoo. Zoo out. Even if he's in, we were able to kind of manipulate that with two bigs and kind of punish them in the paint and get stops defensively with our lens. So it was good, but it's a game by game scenario.
Thanks, AD.
Right about margin for error and how small it might be for this team. JJ just talked about that in the coaches room over there. Do you sense that as well?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're playing a good team, you got to be very locked in to attention to details and execute more than you don't. And we didn't do that tonight, and that's a big reason we lost.
How's your knee doing?
I feel great.
He could be good to go for Tuesday against Washington.
I mean, yeah, I prepare to play every game. So if something happens between him and here and there, and that's what it is. But as of right now, I prefer to play.
We also talked to JJ about this several times this season. He brought it up even post-game identity, and how even good teams, great teams, they go through multiple throughout the year. The Clippers seem like they very much are grounded in their identity. Do you guys feel like you guys are grounded in your identity? Know what you guys are on a night-to-night basis?
I feel like we're working to get there. New staff, new head coach. It'd be beautiful if you could just come in and snap your finger and you know exactly what you're supposed to do with every single possession. So I'd say we're still working there. Everybody's trending in the right direction. So that's positive. But like you said, they know their identity. Every player over there knows what they're out there to do, and yeah, we're working to get there.
As you guys approach the midway point of the season, having that knowledge of the last 40 games, what does the identity of this team to be for the last 42 games, 41 games?
Connected and playing the right way. That's really, on both ends, you've got to be, connected 1 through 5. Every guy that's out there, even the guys on the bench can help talk, communicate. So you just got to be connected. Coaches, staff, players, all basically with one common goal to win, one heartbeat. So you just got to get on that same wavelength and play team basketball.
Also, you talked about, with this team being the first team that you have to go against that blitzed you. This team uses a lot of blitzes, uses a lot of double teams. How have you seen your guys' growth in terms of handling the double team? Like double Bron every single time he touches it, same with AD, double you at time, blitz pretty much everyone. How have you felt like you guys have dealt with that over these last couple of years?
You make good plays, you make bad plays. Anytime tonight there was an empty corner pick and roll, they blitzed it. And as the ball handler, whoever it is, you just got to give yourself up. And if it's hit the guy in the pocket, which is usually AD, for him to be able to play 4-on-3 on the backside, that's what you got to do. You can't have any selfish intentions of trying to race the big or what it is, just sacrificing yourself because on the backside you're going to have a 4-on-3. I feel like we did a good job of that, and like I said, we're still learning, but that's really any team you can go find, any team that's clicking on all cylinders, and they're still trying to learn things as well.
Austin, you guys have been using more double center lineups with AD and Jackson recently, and JJ's kind of talked about trying to see what those look like. Tonight you guys had that 13-2 run to close the third. What have you seen from those units as you guys play a little bit bigger?
Yeah, I think it just gives us a different look. 80 is 95% of the time guarding everybody's big five, but when you do that, you can kind of do what say Memphis has done in the past with Jaren Jackson. You can kind of put him on, kind of move AD off that 5, put him on. You can pick 1 through 4 to match him up with, and kind of let him be a roamer and just cause havoc. And I think that could be really good for us. But we'll have to continue to see what that looks like.
So what were your impressions of this new arena and kind of the game, the atmosphere of tonight's game?
Oh, I thought it was awesome. I thought the fans were great. I thought, obviously I don't get to walk around and see everything else that's other than the court, and, what you did, big jumbo, big whatever, the 360 screen in the middle. But I think it's a very nice arena.
What did you think of the wall? The atmosphere. How'd the atmosphere put the wall right behind the?
Yeah, I thought it was like the same thing. Just it's cool. It's a good idea. It kind of gives you more of like a college atmosphere to where. Just feels more of a college. I don't even really want to elaborate on it. So. They're just.
Last question.
I don't really have an answer for that.
Thanks, Austin.
I believe he banged these day-to-day.
Is that something that's a concern, or we can see how it feels?
Yeah, we'll wait and see how it feels. Sometimes that can be a 10-hour thing or a day. I don't know. I've had it before, so we'll see.
What did you make of the kind of first half? Just how it seemed like Clippers scoring pretty easily. Obviously, they scored a lot. You made a push in the second half, but where did you see things go awry in that first half?
It was one of those games where you want your offense to help your defense, and didn't make shots, turned the ball over. So I thought we did a good job. 11 possessions of zone in the first half. They scored 8 points. We did a good job of mixing it up. There was some great team. I consider them a great team. They have Hall of Famers. Zubats is a monster. Thought he was in some ways the difference with his offensive rebounding, particularly in the second half. Gave up 9 offensive rebounds in the second half. He had 6 of them. But against great teams, you make mistakes. You don't get a loose ball. You don't get the defensive rebound. They make you pay every time. We made a mistake. They made us pay. But our guys competed. We fought. We stayed together. This is for us this was a good process for us. Didn't get the result we wanted. Did some really good things in the second half. That's a real defense. They have a real defense, and they're physical.
JJ, I know you said to us, identities, the teams tend to come and go, and you might have one for a month and then it goes away. You mentioned that they are very much who they are. Did you see that kind of play out? Just like their size, the way
Yeah, I mean, I saw it early in the season. They were one of the 3 games that I watched, actually. Inside joke, if you were at our scrum the other day. Watching them on tape, because a lot of times, we're obviously playing opponents that they've played. They're a defensive team with an offensive engine and a bunch of guys who play their roles really well. Then you add Kawhi to that, and the guy just doesn't miss. He gets to a spot and shoots the ball. I don't care how good the defense is. I don't care how good the contest is. He doesn't miss. They certainly have an identity, and this was like a James Harden game. Got him inside the line. He obviously hit some threes. Did a good job outside of 2 plays, keeping him off the line. That Gabe did a good job with the side contests. The Harden contest. You can't contest straight on against him. He'll draw the foul. Doesn't have like a super efficient shooting night, but he gets 12 assists, manipulates the game and all that stuff. So they're good.
For your group, what do you think it'll take for it to find itself, have that sort of sense of self the same way that they do?
I think we are growing, and we all know that during the growth process, you have some bumps, and that's okay. That's okay. Our group is we're together and we're connected, and certainly more times than not, and we'll continue to grow and build. But there's some good stuff tonight. There was some good stuff. So yeah, we got to keep trying to get better.
JJ, you talked about playing more 2 big lineups, and tonight you go to that 2 big lineup to close the third. You guys go on a 13-2 run. What did you see during that stretch, and just as you started to with Jackson backs to kind of test these lineups out? What did you see in general?
Yeah, I think we, in theory, should be able to get more defensive rebounds, and when we set our defense, we have more size. I think that group did a really good job, and some of that was actually in scramble mode too. When we mixed up some fires throughout the game, and we mixed up some zone throughout the game. I like that, just flexibility, and I also, again, like the way the group responded to in-game stuff. They're ultimately, Kawhi made shots, couldn't keep Zubats off the glass, and anytime Powell got loose, he made his pay.
You guys had 16 points in the paint in the first half. I think you guys also had 16 points in the paint in that third quarter alone. Even understanding the Clippers being the disappointing team, they're switching to keep you out of the paint. What wasn't working offensively for you guys in terms of getting inside the paint and scoring, and what I guess did you see that was better in that third quarter?
We missed a lot of layups tonight, and we missed a lot of layups, and then in the first half we generated a ton of open threes. Didn't make them. Make open threes, you're going to get more points in the paint. So I think it just didn't make shots.
We're looking at your guys' schedule, really post-Christmas. You got this long run with very little road time, and it's almost up. You got a couple games this week, and you got the long road trip. Obviously, there was a huge thing out of your guys' control that can't even understand how much that impact that felt. But is there any sense of, man, we weren't able to capitalize on this time of the schedule maybe the way you would have liked to, or is there just still time to do that?
Yeah, I don't think you can certainly look at a calendar and say this is an easier part of the schedule and this is a more difficult part. Nothing's going to be easy for our team. And I figured that out very early in the season, and that's okay. And we're going to keep fighting. So we're in a good spot. I don't know what it is after today, whatever we are, sixth. Are we sixth? Sixth. Yeah. We have 18 losses. Yeah. So by the loss column, we're sixth. Would like to be higher. I think there's a couple games we can all say we should have won. Like, we haven't had any of those games where you're like, well, we kind of stole that one. We're going to get a couple back at some point. We just got to continue to trust each other, and we'll be fine.
Okay, Coach. You've been on this as both as a player and now as a coach. Just wondering what you felt from the energy tonight, your takeaway from the energy from building being here for the first time.
Great atmosphere, just a great setup. Like I said pregame, Steve and the Clippers. I know Steve probably wasn't the architect on this, but truly fun place to play in, and obviously being Lakers Clippers, it was a great atmosphere. You felt it, you felt the juice, you felt the energy. It was fun.
You just said that you figured out that won't be easy nights for you guys. What does it take to play any games when it's like that? What's it going to take for your team to navigate just sort of the demands of the league? Tough, basically, trying to take the court.
Yeah, I think, again, it goes back to just not having a huge margin for error. And, I think our group is like, if one guy is gone from the rotation, there's an exponential effect to that. I think when we're healthy, we're whole, and we're playing connected and we execute, I think we're a great basketball team. That's what I mean by that. I don't think, we have a 22-18 record. We have a negative net rating. Like, that's, some of that is lost games because we've died, but it's just we just don't have a huge margin for error, and nor can we create that margin organically. It has to be emphasized daily to touch the paint, to play paint, paint to great mentality, to make the extra pass. We don't have a guy on our team that is going to necessarily always draw to the ball. We don't have a guy on our team that's going to be able to get past his guy one-on-one and get to the paint and spray out there. Like, that's just not our team. So we have to do it through connectivity, through execution, and when we do that, we're really good.
Talking about some positives today, they didn't like the zone on defense that you're talking about. Got running a little bit in the second, so I like those little spurts, but also Ruby and Max too as well. What do you see from those two? We had 19 today, but really like how Max has broken again over his last couple of games. What do you see from Max?
I mean, Max has had a nice little stretch here since we put him in the starting lineup. I think he's continuing to not only develop as a player and develop his confidence, but he's developing as a pro. I think that's what all young guys need to learn, is just how to become a pro. And that's not necessarily just, I go to the gym and shoot, or I do my recovery and I eat right. It's all part of it for sure, but it's the consistency of, this is what we're going to get from this guy every night, and he's been great with that. And Rui, I mean, he's again, he's a great guy to coach. His intent and heart is always in the right place. Wants to help the team, wants to win, whatever the game. He's a great example of, like, some games it's going to be one of his games, some games it's not, and he never fights it. He never fights the game, so he's easy to coach.